Okay, this is going to be the continuing of the read 3 of Watchers. As we left off, there was an assassin, Vince Nesco, who had broke into a Dr. Davis Weatherby's home and was waiting for Dr. Weatherby to start his day. And Nesco hid behind Weatherby's car in his garage. As Dr. Weatherby stepped into the garage, Nesco stood with his gun and pulled the trigger and shot Dr. Weatherby right between the eyes. And the story continued after that. Shivering pleasantly, Vince Nesco plucked the car keys off the floor where the dead man had dropped them and opened the Cadillac's trunk, being careful not to touch any surface of which might leave a clear fingerprint. The trunk was empty. Good. He carried Weatherby's corpse out of the laundry room where he had fallen and put it in the trunk, closed it, and then locked the lid. Vince had been told that the doctor's body must not be discovered until tomorrow. He did not know why the timing was important, but he prided himself on doing flawless work. Therefore, he returned to the laundry room, put the cart where it had belonged, and looked around for signs of violence. He turned out the garage lights, crossed the darkened space, and let himself out the side door. Using the doctor's keys, he relocked the door and walked away from the house. Davis Weatherby lived in Corona del Mar, within sight of the Pacific Ocean. Vince had left his 2-year-old Ford van 3 blocks from the doctor's house. The air was scented with star jasmine. Vincent Nesco felt wonderful, so strong, so powerful, so alive. The dog led, and sometimes Travis took the lead. They went a long way before Travis realized that he had been completely jolted out of the despair and desperate loneliness that had brought him to the foothills of the Santa Ana Mountains in the first place. The big tattered dog stayed with him all the way to his pickup, which was parked along the dirt lane under the overhanging boughs of an enormous spruce tree. Stopping at the truck, the retriever looked back the way they had come. Behind them, blackbirds swooped through the cloudless sky as if engaged in reconnaissance for some mountain sorcerer. The dark wall of trees loomed like the ramparts of a sinister castle. Though the woods were gloomy, the dirt road onto which Travis had stepped was fully exposed to the sun, baked to a pale brown, mantled in soft dust that plummeted around his boots with each step he took. He was surprised that such a bright day could have been abruptly filled with an overpowering, palpable sense of evil. Studying the forest out of which they had fled, the dog barked for the first time in half an hour. "Still coming, isn't it?" Travis said. The dog glanced at him and mewed unhappily. "Yeah," he said, "I feel it too. Crazy. Yet I feel it too. But what the hell's out there, boy, huh? What the hell is it?" The dog shuddered violently. Travis's own fear was amplified every time he saw the dog's terror manifested. He put down the tailgate of the truck and said, "Come on, I'll give you a lift out of this place." The dog sprang onto the carget hole. The retriever's friskiness and frenzied wagging of its tail had an unexpected effect on Travis. For a long time, his mind had been in a dark place filled with thoughts of death, culminating in today's journey. But this animal's unadulterated joy in being alive was like a spotlight that pierced Travis's inner gloom and reminded him that life had a brighter side from which he had long ago had turned away. What was that all about back there? He wondered aloud. The dog stopped licking him, popped wagging its matted tail. It regarded him solemnly, and he was suddenly transfixed by the animal's gentle, warm brown eyes. Something in them was unusual, compelling. Travis was half mesmerized, and the dog seemed equally captivated. As a mild spring breeze rose from the south, Travis searched the dog's eyes for a clue to their special power and appeal, but he saw nothing extraordinary about them. Except, well, they seemed somehow more expressive than a dog's eyes usually were, more intelligent and aware. Given the short attention span of any dog, the retriever's unwavering stare was damn unusual. As the seconds ticked past, and as neither Travis nor the dog broke the encounter, he felt increasingly peculiar. A shiver rippled through him, occasioned not by fear, but by a sense that something uncanny was happening, that he was teetering on the threshold of an awesome revelation. Then the dog shook its head and licked Travis's hand, and the spell was broken. Where'd you come from, boy? The dog cocked its head to the left. Who's your owner? The dog cocked its head to the right. What should I do with you? As if in answer, the dog jumped over the truck's tailgate, ran past Travis to the driver's door, and climbed into the pickup cab. When Travis peered inside, the retriever was in the passenger seat, looking straight through the windshield. It turned to him and issued a soft woof, as if impatiently saying, "Let's get it on with it." He got in behind the wheel, tucked the revolver under his seat, and said, "Don't believe I can take care of you. Too much responsibility, fella. Doesn't fit in my plans. Sorry about that." The dog regarded him beseechingly. "You look hungry, boy." It woofed once more softly. "Okay, maybe I can help you that much. I think there's a Planters peanut butter bar in the glove compartment there, and there's a McDonald's not far from here where they probably got a couple of hamburgers with your name on them. But after that, well, I'll either have to let you loose again or take you to the pound." Even as Travis was speaking, the dog raised one foreleg and hit the glove compartment, released the button with a paw, and the lid fell open. "What the hell?" The dog leaned forward, put its snout into the open box, and withdrew the candy in his teeth, holding the bar so lightly that the wrapper was not punctured at all. Travis blinked in surprise. The retriever held forth the peanut bar, as if requesting that Travis unwrap the treat. Startled, he took the candy and peeled off the paper. The retriever watched, licking its lips. Breaking the bar into pieces, Travis paid out the treat in morsels. The dog took them gratefully and ate almost daintily. Travis watched in confusion, not certain if what had happened was truly extraordinary or had a reasonable explanation. Had the dog actually understood when he said he had there in his glove box a candy bar? Or had it detected the scent of peanuts? Surely the latter, I would think. To the dog he said, "But how did you know to press the button to pop the lid open?" It stared, licked its chops, and accepted another bit of candy. He said, okay, so maybe that's a trick you've been taught. though it's not the sort of thing anyone would ordinarily train a dog to do, is it? Roll over, play dead, sing for your supper, even walk on your hind feet a little ways. Yeah, those are the things dogs are trained to do, but they're not trained to open locks and latches. The retriever gazed longingly at the last morsel, but Travis withheld the goody for a moment. The timing, for God's sakes, had been uncanny. 2 seconds after Travis had referred to the peanut bar, the dog had gone for it. Did you understand what I said? Travis asked, feeling foolish for suspecting a dog of possessing language skills. Nevertheless, he repeated the question. Did you understand? Did you actually understand? Reluctantly, the retriever raised his gaze from the last of the candy to eyes meeting Travis's. He saw something uncanny was about to happen. He shivered, not unpleasantly as before. He hesitated, cleared his throat. Uh, would it be all right if you and I shared the last piece? The dog turned its eyes to the two small squares of the planter's bar still in Travis's hand. It cuffed once, as if with regret, then looked through the windshield. I'll be damned, Travis said. The dog yawned.